We're going to go ahead and set up this idea book activity. This is both notes to create a reference sheet as well as an area to practice. So if you have a handout that looks like this, you can use that. If you don't have a handout, that's no problem. You just need a blank sheet of paper. You're going to divide your paper in half horizontally and then in half vertically at the top. I like to leave a little box up here at the top so that I can title it up here. So in this case, it would be 2-point perspective. I like to number the boxes 1, 2, 3, so we all know that we're in the right space, doing the right thing at the right time, and we can stay together on this. And this is what our idea book typically looks like. If you have the handout, then I've already done this work for you, and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the areas. In the handout, in box number 1, it has the directions. Please draw a cube in this box. If you need to pause the video to do this, go ahead and pause the video. So please just draw your best cube. This is a pre-test. Once you have this box drawn, we're gonna lock it because this is showing where we're starting. So I'm just gonna create a little lock here, just a little rainbow with a square, and it's locked. So I'm not gonna draw in this box anymore at this point because this box number 2, this is where the learning is going to start, where we started, and then down here will be our practice and what we're learning. And then we'll be able to go back with our finished product and compare to this box and see how much we've grown. In box number 2, we're gonna write the steps for our process in order. So we're creating the illusion of three-dimensional space, and I've broken it down into 4 steps. Step 1 is draw a vertical line. And I'm just gonna add an exclamation point. Step 2 is going to be 2 to the left and 2 to the right. So I'm gonna use a mix of numerals and words. So we're gonna go 2 to the left and 2 to the right. And that is step 2. Get it? There's 2 2s, 2 steps for step 2. For step 3, we're gonna end your box. End your box. And we're so excited about this end that we're gonna put 2 exclamation points here. And step 4 is gonna be cross the lines. And you wanna put an X in here. So we have got 2 lines that are crossing, cross the lines. And those are our 4 basic directions. Next, we're gonna dance these directions or move these directions so that we can really get them embedded into our brains. Okay, ready? Okay. Draw a vertical line. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. End your box, end your box, end your box. Cross the lines, cross the lines, cross the lines, cross the lines. Oh yeah. Now's the time where we're gonna set up our practice drawing. So down here, we're gonna practice with these steps that we just danced, which was so much fun. And we're gonna lay it out so that this makes sense to create our illusion. So you might have a clear 12-inch ruler, you might have a 6-inch ruler. Either one will work for this scale. So the first thing we wanna do with our ruler is somewhere around the middle of the box, we're gonna create a horizon line. And I'm just gonna lightly draw this in. It might even be difficult for the camera to pick it up. It's very light because it does tend to be erased. So at the end of each line, I'm gonna put a big dot over here on the very edge. This is going to be my left vanishing point. I'm just gonna put VP for vanishing point. And on the opposite side, I'm gonna put a big dot at the other end. I'm gonna write RVP, not vice president, but vanishing point. So we've got our left and right vanishing points. I'm gonna zoom out just a smidge, there you go. Left and right vanishing point. Everything happens on this line. So the first thing you have to recognize is that not only is this acting, it could be a horizon line if we were doing a cityscape, but for the most part, this line is an eye level. Okay, this is your eye level. You're the viewer. So your eye level is at this line. And so anything that is above this line is going to be like you're holding it above your eyes, and anything below will be like you're holding it below your eyes. So you'll see different parts of the object. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start our steps. Now, at first you have to really trust the steps. So just do what it's asking you to do and everything's going to work out. So here we go. So I'm going to start sort of in the middle here. And I'm going to draw a vertical line. We want this vertical line to be perpendicular. That means it's going to intersect our eye level and it's going to create 4 right angles. I don't want it to touch the top of my box. I don't want it to touch the bottom of my box. As a matter of fact, I'm going to erase this and make it a little bit shorter. Got too excited about my vertical line. So here we go, draw a vertical line. And when I'm practicing, I like to make the dots that identify the ends of my line segments. Step 2, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Here's my left vanishing point. So I'm gonna take the ends of my line segment and I'm gonna line them up with the left vanishing point. So I'm gonna go, I've got 2 ends to my line segment. I'm gonna go 1 to the left, 2 to the left. I've just created a triangle. But I've got to do 2 things, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. So I'm going to go 2 to the right. These are called converging lines. There's a vanishing point at the party. There's a party at the vanishing point. How about that? There's a party at the vanishing point. All the cool diagonal lines want to go there. There are really no horizontal lines in 2-point perspective. It's very, very rare except for the eye level. So you're either a vertical line or you're a diagonal line. All the cool diagonal lines, they want to get to the vanishing point parties. So we want to make sure that they end up there. So step 3 is end your box. So we're going to take this line, which I know is my original line because it has my line segment ending dots or points. And I'm going to just line up with that vertical and slide a little bit to the left. And I'm going to draw a vertical line to end my box. Okay, notice that we made 2 exclamation points. That's because you're creating 2 vertical lines, one on the left of your original line and one on the right. Lines on the inside of the box will disappear. Okay, there's our box at eye level. And so this is where things get a little tricky because as we move the location or change the location on the picture plane, the cube actually changes its perspective. So it looks different. It could be the exact same cube, but if we make it a little higher than eye level or make it a little lower than eye level, we're gonna see the top, the bottom, or the top of the box, the cube, the rectangular prism. Or if we move it left or right, we'll see more of one side and less of the other. The angles get more acute as they get closer to the vanishing point, and they get more obtuse as they get further away from the vanishing point. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my blue highlighter right here, and I'm just gonna remind myself that this picture plane is divided into 4 quadrants. And as long as I don't have my vertical line, my first vertical line, perpendicular to the horizontal lines or right on the vertical axis of these quadrants, then I can make sure that I have 3 sides to my box. Sometimes when we have a 2-sided box, it doesn't exactly look correct. So we're gonna be mindful of these sort of seams in our picture plane, and that way we'll be able to better choose a placement so we can see 3 sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start up here on the left upper quadrant. I'm gonna draw a vertical line, 2 to the left. So I've got my pencil and I'm lining my ruler up with my vanishing point. 2 to the left. There we go. I'm gonna do 2 to the right. That edge of my ruler up here. If I run into a box, I'm just gonna hop over it. Prove to myself that it does go all the way to the vanishing point. All right, I've done step 2. Now I can go on to step 3, which is end your box. This is one of the most important steps. The reason we put 2 exclamation points here is because they're 2 vertical lines. And so with 2 vertical lines, that reminds you that you need 2 vertical lines to end your box. So I'm gonna line it up with my original vertical line and slide to the left, slide to the right, and I've ended my box. You should see 111, 3 ones in a row, or if you're a Hobbit fan, it would be 11D1. I'm gonna erase those diagonals. Eventually, you'll trust that your ruler is going to the vanishing point and not to your neighbor's belly button, which is not your vanishing point. And you'll be able to just not draw those lines all the way. You'll be able to line it up. See that what we know about line segments is that they go on and 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 on forever and ever and ever, and they never ever stop. That's why when we're working with lines, we're working in segments or dots. So you just need the segment that is going to define your box. Now, this one happens to be above the eye level, so we need step 4 to cross the lines. So because it's up, I can see the bottom. It seems like there should be something there, and if you thought that, you are correct. So I'm gonna mark the 2 bottom. These are the 2 new vertical lines that I just drew when I ended my box. And this one says cross the lines. So I'm gonna take the right side of my box and I'm gonna line it up to the left vanishing point. And I'm gonna take the left side of my box and I'm gonna line it up to the right vanishing point. And I don't even have to go all the way to the vanishing point. I only have to line up the ruler and then stop when I cross that line, because X marks the spot right here. When they cross, I've completed my cube or rectangular prism, and this one appears to be floating in the air because it's above my eye level. These are gonna change every time you draw one in a quadrant, so I would recommend that you take some time. Remember, this is a video, so you can pause it and practice and rewatch, and pause and practice and rewatch until you have some good practice. And I'm gonna keep drawing here. I wanna draw a bottom, one that shows the top of the box or rectangular prism. So for this one, I'm gonna come down here to the lower right quadrant, and I'm going to draw a vertical line. I'm gonna mark the line segment so I know this is my original line segment. I'm closer to the right vanishing point, so I think I'm gonna shake it up and go 2 to the right and 2 to the left. If you're having trouble controlling your ruler, I like to teach the Spider-Man hand. So Spider-Man, when he goes slinging webs, he shoots them out of his wrist right here, kind of like this. This is the hand that I like to hold my ruler with. So these two are kind of tucked and these two are spread out, and I can set them all on my ruler and press down. Use your pencil as a fulcrum. And I'm gonna go, I can see that my line segment is gonna end up here at this vanishing point. So I don't have to draw it all the way there. I can stop because I don't think my box will go any further than that. Put your pencil down on the vanishing point, use it as a fulcrum to move to the top of your line segment, and repeat. Okay. Now, I'm gonna end my box. So I've got to draw 2 vertical lines. And this is the most common mistake. So most people, when they make a mistake on their box, they, instead of drawing 2 vertical lines, they get pulled into the vanishing point, because the vanishing points, they're kind of like, they have the same gravitational pull as a black hole. All of the cool diagonal lines want to go there. It's like a vanishing point party. So when they go to end their box, instead of keeping it vertical and parallel with the original line, they tend to get pulled into the vanishing point like this, and they end up with a diagonal line. After we practiced our dance, this is a very easy correction to make, or a good self-check for students, because I just, when your hands are like this, you're like, what, huh? I don't know. This is like the shrugs, right? So you can say, well, did you end your box or what? Or did you end your box? And then they know to look there first. That's an immediate self-check. All right, I'm excited. This is my first box top, so here we go. Remember that you have the 2 lines that you just ended your box with. These are the outside ones. I can see my 111. I'm gonna mark the top because I'm gonna add a top, and I've gotta cross the lines. So I'm gonna start, this is the left side of my box, so it's gotta go to the, you got it, right vanishing point. This is the left side of my box, right side of my box. It's got to go to the left vanishing point. Okay, it looks like it's headed there. I don't need to go all the way there with my line segment. My line segment is gonna stop when it crosses this line. So X marks the spot. And there you go. Feel free to take some more time, pause the video, draw some more boxes. Love that. So you can start experimenting. You can start bumping boxes up next to each other. So for example, if I wanted to turn this into a U-Haul truck, for example, that is driving away towards this vanishing point, I would need a U-Haul cab. So I would still follow the same rules, except my draw a vertical line. I'm gonna borrow this line right here, draw a vertical line. And then I'm gonna go 2 to the left. Oh wait, this box is in the way, so I can't go to the left, and go 2 to the right. So it's gonna be a little bit smaller than the big box. So I'm gonna go 2 to the right. Whoop. Get to the vanishing point. There we go. And then I'm gonna end my box. Oh, this is so strange because I'm only seeing one side of my box. Right now I can only see one side. And then if I cross the lines, this is the right side and it's going to the left, I would have the front of my trailer truck here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a wheel, and add a wheel, and add a wheel. And then I probably have a bumper back here. So let's see. I think the bumper would be in line with the bottom of the truck, like this. And then maybe it's one of those ones that has the roll-up door. So I would want to use, well, first I'm going to make a little opening for my truck. And then I can make the lines come down this way for the roll-up part of the truck. This is our idea book. This is a messy place. This is a practice space. It's not gonna be a masterpiece. It's kind of gonna be just some really messy experimentation and innovation with what we just learned. So there's my truck driving off into the sunset. This could be, we have a lot of, I'm in Tennessee, we have a lot of tornadoes and things like that in the springtime. So, you know, I could make this like a flying house, like Wizard of Oz. I could put a pitched roof on it. You know, you could see the underneath part of it. I can do all kinds of things. And the kids will start asking really amazing questions like, how do I make a porch stick off of this? Or how do I make a balcony? Or how can I put a box on a box? Yeah, you could put a box on a box. And so there are all different kinds of things that they can play and experiment with. And that's the practice.